was a morning person, but I'm just not. It's a new day for a high. It's another day to try to get by. And ooh, yeah, I'm feeling now every second, every hour of the day. Yeah. It's a new day for a high. Yeah.
So Friday mornings are my earliest start of the week, unless I'm going on a road trip or something and Tom drags me out of bed earlier. Every single Friday, my alarm goes off at 5 o'clock in the morning because I have a Zoom that starts at 6 o'clock in the morning in the Tech and Sports Patreon group that I'm the host of. And in this particular Zoom, we talk about everything to do with social media and YouTube. But I'm paranoid always that I'm going to sleep in because I'm not a morning person, so I have to have multiple alarms set. What is the time? It is 5:52. I'm about to log on to the Zoom. The UK call will be going right before we start. The next 2 hours of my time here on a Friday morning are spent on the Zoom. I have a variety of fidget spinners because I do find it very hard to sit there for 2 hours, sometimes longer, without fidgeting and without getting distracted going onto Zoom or something, onto Google or something else and getting distracted. So while I Zoom, I do often fidget or play with my hair or but I always start my morning. I've always got coffee. Also, I never do a full face of makeup at this time of the morning. I do the Zoom call. I look like crap. And then after the Zoom call, I go and have a shower and get ready properly for the day. In the Zoom call, I normally throw on the jumper, but I'm sitting here secretly in my pajamas. Now you'll notice I've got a sock here. I'm absolutely paranoid that one day I'm going to leave this camera on while I've got my bed. The sock comes off when my screen comes on. It is now 8:15 in the morning. The Zoom call has just ended. It's time for me to get out of my pajamas and my slippers. It's time for me to have a shower. It is 9:03 in the morning and I'm just heading out to the warehouse. I've just stopped through the drive-through, grabbed myself a coffee, but I'm absolutely starving. I find that I get really hungry after the Zoom call because I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. By the time I head out, I've been up for like 4 hours and haven't eaten anything. So I didn't have anything fresh in my fridge this morning. I only got back last night to my house and nothing fresh. So 3 important factors of my life part that I want to really start focusing on are cleaning up my business, cleaning up my fitness and nutrition and doing a better job at those, and also working on my finances and my budget and saving money. One of the things I want to save money on is actually cutting out the coffee and the takeaway foods. It's probably the biggest area in my life that I can cut from the budget. And if you're wondering where the muffin is, it's here. Sometimes if I eat too much carbs, I just feel like blur. So less carbs, half a muffin. That's all I'm having today. Okay, so it's 10:30 in the morning. So I left McDonald's just after 9. It's like 50 minutes from the McDonald's to the warehouse, roughly around 50 minutes. I got here, raced straight to the toilet, came in, I've picked my items. I had to run up to Tom's warehouse and grab 3 medium mailers because I've run out. I do have 2 boxes at home, but I forgot to bring them in here today. And now it's 10:30 and I'm back here ready to pack the orders. So let's see what we have got here. Okay, 4-Hour Workweek, one of my favourite books ever. Self-help. This one's actually in beautiful, almost looks like brand new, never read. Anyway, that one's going out. 4-Hour Workweek. Wouldn't that be nice to only work 4 hours? Okay, this one I only just listed yesterday. I finally got some books into my store yesterday. I think I listed close to 40 books last night before I had to Zoom. This one's called Tribe on Homecoming and Belonging. So yeah, that one was super fast. Let's get that one out. Brand new. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? The last video I made, I was saying that sales were slow because I haven't been doing any listing and things like that. It just kind of proves as soon as you start listing, you've got books that have the opportunity to sell. And like that one, sold straight away. It's raining outside. You can probably see I'm wet because I raced up to get the mailers from Tom's and went to the toilet quickly. But yeah, it's a pretty miserable day here actually. Now, this is interesting. Yesterday, in my video yesterday, I showed an order where a man had ordered 5 of these David Baldacci books. And he's come back today and he's ordered another 4 David Baldacci. So, Hell's Corner, Divine Justice, Walk the Wire, and Long Road to Mercy. So, another 4 books by the same author. So, that's 9 books in 2 days. So, perfect buyer, isn't it? He hasn't even received the other ones yet. And I still don't have my scissors here. Okay, that needs to... Why don't I have multiple scissors? Where are they all? This is an interesting book. Polychaetes and Allies, the Southern Symphonists. Well, that looks like some kind of vertebrae or bug or something. So there we go. I sold this book the other day to somebody else. A slightly different edition to this one, but same book. And the man who bought it sent me a message saying, thank you so much. The book was in nearly brand new condition. And he said that he was actually one of the writers for that book, which was made 30 years ago or something. And he said he just can't believe that how popular that book was. And he couldn't believe that he was even able to track one down secondhand from me that was in nearly brand new condition for a book that's 30 years old. So yeah, it was a really interesting story and I love it when I get messages like that. The Revised English Bible. I've got 2 Bibles going out in today's post, which is interesting. Okay. The King, Prince Charles. This only looks like a brand new book nearly. Doesn't even look like it's been read. I just listed another King Charles book yesterday. There was a few. I don't really find the royalty books normally go very well, but there was a few royalty books in one of the cages. So I didn't keep all of them to the list, but I did keep a few of them. But I do find that royalty books they're not really very popular here in Australia. I don't find they've got a very fast sell-through rate. It might be different in England, where the royal family is more popular, but I don't find them very fast movers here. Okay, this is the other little Bible. It's only a little tiny one, this one. Another big stack of Mills and Boon. These ones are the American Romance. I haven't found these ones overly popular. They're not one of the most popular Meals and Boons. I did get a lot of those blue American romance ones when I bought the big haul of 10,000 Meals and Boons a couple of years ago. And there's not too many of them that are still listed, I don't think, in my store anyway. Maybe there's more than I think, but I think I've pretty much nearly run down those blue American themed ones. Dream Eyes. I think this one, Jane Ann Krentz. I'm pretty sure she writes like paranormal romance, a dark legacy novel. So yeah, that's probably a paranormal romance novel. Skills and strategies for soccer coaching, for coaching soccer. And Kylie Kwong, My China. It's a nice looking cookbook, this one, but although this is like really nice, like it almost looks like it could be a coffee table book, it just doesn't sell for very much money. I can't remember what that one sold for. It generally sells for around $20, maybe $22, which isn't very much for kind of like a really nice cookbook. But yeah, I don't know. It does sell, it just doesn't bring much money. That's it. That was quick and easy, wasn't it? What do we got here? 10:39. It only took me under 10 minutes to pack on my orders today. So that's good. I can crack on now and start getting some more photography done.
Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do.
Dropped one.
I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just want to make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset, man.
It's raining, so I only really want to carry one bag and run as fast as I can. Am I better to go one bag? Oh, yay, Muscles is here. That was perfect timing. Can you carry these for me? Yes.
Where's the rest?
That's it. High five, eBay. Oops. Where's all yours?
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
We got stooge yesterday. Thanks, eBay.
You just made mine out like I didn't have many.
That's still 80 orders.
Oh, okay. It's better than 15, I guess. It's wet. Okay, I don't know what Tom's about to do, but he's got the truck going and he just said, do you want to come for a drive in the truck? Me and the boys are going up to get some wood. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's wood for lighting a fire as it gets colder outside. I don't know if it's wood for something that he's doing, some next big shiny task that Tom's got going on in the warehouse. But because I like to procrastinate on starting my tasks, in a minute he's going to drive past and I'm going to jump in the car and go with them to collect wood.
On the road again.
This is cozy.
Alright, now this is the wool stools. I've got to make sure I don't crash into the ceiling. How am I meant to get through there? I'm going to have to do a U-in. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to have to drive in there. So back in the day, they used to store wool in here, and they still store a bit of wool in here, but now they rent the space out to a lot of like tradies and people that need storage space. Right, now we need to go over there somehow. I think I'm only just missing the ceiling in here with this truck, you know.
Yeah, they were looking at it as if it was quite close.
We've got this far and it hasn't hit, so unless there's a beam that's a different height.
Yeah, touch wood.
About it.
Right now, where the heck am I going? I think it's here. Yeah, that's where I'm going to stop.
Well, it looks like wood.
Does look like one.
I thought you meant firewood.
Firewood. Not today. Alright, let's do some job.
Now, because I'm such an experienced vlogger, I just filmed all that footage in slow motion. But I was just saying that once again, I've got the hard job of standing here watching. You know that conversation that you just had with me telling me all about the boards?
Yeah.
Well, I accidentally filmed it in slow motion, so you just... So nobody understood it, so...
This timber,
Yep.
they're called top sheets.
Yep.
So what happens is they come on pallets like this. So these guys build kitchens, right? And so when they get one of these pallets in, they get a top sheet of wood at the top and one at the bottom, right? And so it's used for packing purposes. So essentially they're not overly useful to them because they get scratched and they can get damaged. And that's what they're designed to do. They're designed to protect the rest of the wood on that pallet. And so what happens is, essentially they're discards to these guys. And what we do is we pay them to cut them to a certain size and then we use them for pallet racking, for shelving. So if we were to buy these sheets, slightly better quality than this, we get a 3.6 metre sheet, which we can only get one shelf out of, and it's about $80. These cost us $10 each.
Okay.
So it's really environmentally friendly and it's also friendly on the old pocket.
Okay. Thanks for saying that again.
You're welcome. I remember my first time
I know.
filming.
I'm such an experienced vlogger. Right. I am going to leave you. Have fun.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between. So baby, we should start living now.
I'm just keeping my eye on the rain because one thing I hate is driving on the highway when it's absolutely pouring rain. You got a lot of big trucks. We've got a lot of kangaroos on the highway here. And it's kind of frightening when there's a lot of water that's coming up from the big trucks and you can't really see because of the water that's coming up and it's overcast. And yeah, you do have to be careful of kangaroos on the road. So I'm just keeping my eye on the rain. And if it looks like there's going to be a lull in rain, I'll probably pack up and go home. And then once I get home, I've got a whole lot of listing that I want to do today. So I don't really need to be out here for the rest of the afternoon. I've got hundreds of photographs that are already done. I'm obviously wanting to be out here getting the photographs done because I want to eliminate this pile as quickly as I can so that I can get on top. Because even once I eliminate this pile that's down here waiting to photograph, I've still got books over on the shelves that are waiting to bundle. I've still got like a heap of kids' books. Some of them are in the office there and some of them are in my home garage. Plus, I've still got some other books at my home garage, which are good books and just waiting for me to list. I don't have any death pile in my house that needs culling, if that makes sense. I do have some books in my garage, but they're all books that are just waiting to photograph. They're all good books, ready to go as soon as I start clearing this mess here. Now, normally when I start listing, it takes me about maybe 10 minutes just to get back into my flow and get like a little bit of a routine going. Once I get into my listing though, I can sit here for like a good few hours and just list, and I get into that flow and it's no problems. I actually quite enjoy the listing process. I prefer to list when I'm here at home rather than in the warehouse. It's cold in the warehouse. I prefer this computer than the other one. And yeah, I like to sit here. I like to get into my tracksuit pants or my pajama pants, put on my slippers, grab a hot cup of coffee. Yeah, I'm either listening to absolutely nothing, dead silence, or I will sometimes put on like something that I don't have to keep going and stopping and starting or anything. So I'll put on normally something longer, like a long podcast or an interview, something that will go for about an hour, because the last thing I want to be doing is going in there and feeling like I've got to stop and watch something. I think what I might start doing is like scheduling them out again so that I've got, I don't know, maybe like 20 or 30 every single day going into the store in the morning. But because I've got so many listings that I've got to catch up on, I've got so many books, I don't want to just do 20 or 30. Like there's too many here in my waiting to list pile. So I think what I'll do is I'll start scheduling out 20 to 30 a day. Once I've got a couple of weeks in my scheduled out draft box, I think then what I'll do is I'll just keep listing additional ones on top of that. But I don't overthink my listings. I try and get them down as fast as I can. I'm just like, I don't fill out every single item specifics. I'm doing as much as I think is required to make a good listing. The photos are good. I do make sure that I feel like I've got a good title. I do the base item specifics that I think I need to, and then I move on to the next one. That's it. I'm here to just move them in, move them fast. These are low-end items. I'm not going to spend heaps and heaps of time on low-end listings. If all my books were $100, then maybe I'd add in a couple of extra item specifics, or I'd spend a little bit more time making sure the price was absolutely correct. On $19.99 books with free post, get them in, get them up quick and be done with it and move on to the next listing. Like you just can't be spending heaps of time. And I know a lot of resellers, they procrastinate on their listings. They just spend too much time. It takes me 30 seconds to do one of these listings. Half the time I'm waiting for the computer to actually speed up and go fast enough. If you're selling low-end items and spending 5 to 10 minutes per listing, no. You need to resolve that. That's an issue. That's actually a bottleneck in your business if it's taking you that long to do a listing. So I understand spending more time on like better listings, but low-end items, bread and butter items, move them in quick, fast listings. You can't be spending too long on bread and butter listings. The listings that take me the longest are the ones where I have to really check the spelling when or they've got authors that have got these hard to spell surnames where I have to like look at it a few times to make sure I'm spelling it correctly. Okay, if I can't see one that's listed, what I do is I actually leave it and I just keep going on to the next one that's in my photo pile here. And then when I get to the end, then I can spend like a couple extra minutes on the listings that weren't actually there. So if there's none listed and none sold, then I need to do a little bit more of a look on that book. I don't just want to make a mad guess that it's only going to be a $19.99 book, especially like this Barista Bible. That's highly likely that one might be worth a little bit more money. So I need to go into Terapeak or something and have a little look. If I can't find it on Terapeak, I might do a search on Google. But again, I don't spend a lot of time, but I do leave those items till last because I don't want to get out of my flow in researching for a long time and going into Google, because then I might see something else and I'll get distracted and I might click out and I'll click out there. It's the story of my life. So I do things that will eliminate me being distracted. So I want to stay in the most amount of flow that I can when I'm listing. So if any of these books are going to put me out of flow, like those 2 last books there were books that didn't come up in either listed or sold. So now I just leave them. Sometimes I even put a little folder here that says research more or something, and I just drag them in there so they're out of sight. But for these ones, they're at the bottom of the thing, so I'm just going to scroll up a little bit more. I'm trying to pop in a whole lot of cookbooks at the moment, because the other day I was putting in a whole lot of fiction, and I'm just trying to keep it mixed up in the store at the moment. And I've got a lot of cookbooks and I've got a lot of fiction, so if I can keep a bit of a mix going into the store, that's great. Okay, I've just listed 31 items relatively fast, nice and simple, no problems, quick and easy. It's 5 o'clock now. I'm probably going to just continue listing until it's time for me to start cooking dinner. My daughter will be home any moment as well, so I'll try and list before she gets in. That is my day, fairly average, boring day at the house. I did get to go and see the wood, but that was probably the most exciting part of my day, going and picking up the wood. So exciting. Guys, I'll see you in the next vlog, day of my life, whatever I'm doing. Trying to document as much as I can again at the moment, just to get myself back into the flow of creating videos and get out of my video rut. So I'll see you in the next vlog. Thanks for watching. Bye.